This is Kalen Caron Vasquez from DivingDragonGames.com and YourCardsLeaves.com, and this is just a quick and dirty update video. I'm here to show off my latest, ugliest, and most likely most dangerous build to date. This is a homemade die press. Let me preface this by saying sorry for shaky cell phone cam, but I am still in the middle of a move right now, and my tripod and good lighting is still at my old place. So bear with me while I do this. I should be getting that stuff in hand next week. I brought all the important stuff when it came to making card sleeves, but I did not bring my, video accessories. Anyway, I made this in order to replace my original method, which is this little baby right here. This is a 4-pound dead blow hammer. Works great when you're chopping out maybe 2 or 3 sleeves at a time, usually. If I don't hit the die just right, the die jumps, ruins sleeves, and I've had to throw out way more sleeves than I would like. So this guy is the answer to that problem. If you notice, it's nothing more than a car jack mounted to a metal frame, which I will also say, if you're trying to cut 1/4 or 1/8 of an inch galvanized steel square tubing and all you have is a hacksaw, you're going to have a bad time. My arm still hurts, but it's getting better. Anyway, I based this design off of several that I've seen online. A lot of people use metal tubing and car jacks to, make all kinds of presses. I've seen 5-ton shot presses made with bottle jacks. I've seen a lot of people use 2x4s and a screw jack similar to this one to make apple presses for making apple juice and cider and whatnot. And I thought it'd be a good idea. I could have bought a professional press, but it would actually be a lot more limited than this one. If I wanted it to handle custom dies, it'd be a lot more expensive than other presses. And yeah, seeing as how I have to use custom dies, which I also make myself, though if you notice, I do make it using steel rule, which is professional grade die making materials. More about that maybe later, maybe not. But yeah, so this is my new press. I do have to tinker with it just a little bit more. I have to reinforce this. It has been bowing out since this is a 2,200 pound jack. Okay, it's only 7 pounds, but it produces 2,200 pounds of pressure. This metal plate that I just shoved in here is not absorbing the pressure. I am going to be tripling down on this, and fortunately this size 16 inches comes pre-cut, so I just buy it and slap it on. I do need to get a ratchet to handle these bolts. I do not have a bit for it. I have every other bit imaginable except for this size. A little bit of hyperbole for you there, but yeah, that's been a pain. I've just been using wrenches and never getting it tight enough, so got a little bit of wobble, but nothing too bad. I also, here at the bottom, this is a polyethylene plate. This is actually the same material that they use in real die cutters as your base plate. You need to have a soft-ish base plate if you want to make a cut. If it's too soft, you just press right through it, so it does need to be rigid. If it's too rigid and it doesn't mar when you cut it, you're going to dull your blades pretty much immediately, and that's bad. Fortunately, I grew up around die press machines, so yeah, I can guarantee this is what I need. And I also have a small corner rounding press that I use for Geek Fight. It has a polyethylene base, so yeah, I did it right. Yay! One thing I will say, I could have actually done this build for about $50 less than I did by going with either screw or hydraulic jack, but I got a little special toy here, because if you notice, it looks like a screw jack. And then some. We are dealing with an electrical jack. All kinds of fun. So I went with the electrical simply because when you're doing something as delicate as die cutting, if I used a screw jack or a hydraulic jack, not only would they not give me enough control, but by extending the arm on the jack, it would have shaken, it moved the die, and that's not a fun time for anyone. So yes, I now have a die press. I'm going to be recalibrating it a little bit, reinforcing the top. The base seems to be perfectly fine, and the force is distributed evenly among quite a few different struts, so that's fine. That's only a minor problem, can fix it tomorrow. I'll be centering and dialing in this, and then I can get back to die cutting sleeves. This baby is going to allow me to increase my die cutting abilities tenfold, less scrap because the die is not going to be shifting with every strike of a hammer. And if I get the right size reinforcing plate, which this is going to be my reinforcing plate for these little guys, I'll actually be able to use the larger die that I made at the start of this project and haven't been able to use because this doesn't provide enough pressure, and it actually takes me a full minute to do the rounds with enough force, and even then it jumps around. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I will be able to use my 6-up die, which means not only do I increase die cutting by 10 times the amount of sheets, but 6 times the amount of cards at once. So, huzzah. That's all I came here to say, so wish me luck, and back to work.